Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. I am so excited to have you here today because we're diving into something that's literally hiding right in plain sight. We see them all the time in our backyards, darting up trees in the park, but beneath that familiar, fluffy exterior lies an absolute masterclass in survival. Today, we're uncovering the incredible, hidden adaptability of squirrels. And trust me, by the time we're done, you are never going to look at these everyday acrobats the same way again. So, let me hit you with a quick question to get us started. What do glowing pink fur and a strictly 9 to 5 daily schedule have in common? I know, it sounds like a setup to a weird riddle, right? Or maybe some bizarre sci-fi plot. On the surface, these two things just seem totally unrelated. One sounds like a strange biological mutation, and the other, well, that's just human corporate culture. But believe it or not, the answer is that they're both cutting-edge survival traits of squirrels. It's true. Whether they're tapping into millions of years of ancient physical evolution or making these rapid, real-time behavioral shifts just to deal with us humans, squirrels are incredibly dynamic adapters. They're constantly conquering their environments in ways that will absolutely blow your mind. Okay, let's take a quick look at our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover the broad concept of being masters of animal adaptation. Second, we're gliding through the night. Third, we'll check out the urban day shift. And finally, number 4, we'll wrap up with why squirrels are nature's ultimate survival hackers. All right, part 1, Masters of Animal Adaptation, the hardware and software of survival. So think of survival kind of like a computer system. You've got an adaptation matrix with two main components. First, there's the biological hardware. The physical body, the bones, the anatomy that evolves over millions of years. And then there's the behavioral software, the daily habits, the routines, the active choices an animal makes on the fly. And as you'll see, squirrels are absolute masters at upgrading both. Moving right along to part 2, gliding through the night, physical evolution. Let's look at a major hardware upgrade. We're talking about the flying squirrel. This is a lineage that molecular studies trace back roughly 18 to 20 million years. They evolved to totally conquer the night canopy, relying on these incredible anatomical adaptations to forage for food and escape daytime predators like birds of prey. Now, despite the name, flying squirrels don't actually fly, right? They don't have powered flight like birds or bats. Instead, they use a highly specialized piece of biological hardware called a patagium. Basically, it's this furred parachute-like membrane stretching from their wrists all the way down to their ankles, and it lets them glide super efficiently from tree trunk to tree trunk. The actual mechanics of this glide are just fascinating. Step 1, they have this unique, specialized wrist bone called the styloform cartilage. They actually hold it upward to extend the wingtip. Step 2, that movement changes the tautness of the patagium, letting them adjust angles and totally control their aerodynamics mid-air. And step 3, right before impact, their flattened tail, which is flat from top to bottom, kind of like a paddle, acts as this brilliant air brake to make sure they stick a safe landing. To put that into perspective, a single glide can span up to 90 meters. I mean, that's nearly the length of an entire football field in one single unpowered leap. It's a wildly energy-efficient way to forage over a massive area of forest, all without ever having to touch the dangerous ground below. Talk about a successful 20-million-year-old hardware upgrade. But here's where it gets really crazy. In 2019, researchers made this totally unexpected discovery by pure chance. They found that all 3 species of North American flying squirrels exhibit fluorescence. If you shine an ultraviolet light on them, their fur glows this vibrant bubblegum pink. The wildest part? Science still hasn't definitively figured out why they do this. Regular squirrels don't glow at all. Is it for nighttime communication? Predator avoidance? We don't know. It's this brand new mystery wrapped up in a very ancient biological package. All right, part 3, the urban day shift, behavioral software. Let's pivot from millions of years of anatomical evolution to something that's happening right now. We're going to look at a rapid update in behavioral software, a real-time adaptation unfolding in our modern cities. This all comes from a super fascinating camera trap study of Eurasian red squirrels done recently in Warsaw, Poland. To really understand this software update, the researchers set up a brilliant comparison between 2 drastically different habitats. First, you've got the Nautilin Forest Reserve. This is a natural, dense forest that's totally closed to the public, so basically zero human interference. Second, the Loz-Yankee Royal Museum Park, which is right in the city center, packed with historical buildings, and gets over 2 million human visitors every single year. Keep in mind, same city, same weather, same climate. Literally the only major difference is us.
So the camera traps ran around the clock, and the data they captured is totally counterintuitive. In a natural forest, red squirrels do what makes biological sense, right? When winter hits and it gets freezing cold, their activity levels plummet so they can conserve energy. But in the dead of winter, the urban park squirrels actually hit their highest activity levels of the entire year. Why? Well, because park tourists bring a totally predictable, year-round supply of food, like walnuts and hazelnuts. The urban squirrels don't even need to conserve energy. They just need to show up where the humans are.
And this behavioral shift goes way deeper than just the seasons. Look at the drastic differences in their daily activity clocks. Out in the forest, the squirrels maintain their natural, ancient rhythms. They're crepuscular, meaning they have two main peaks of activity, one right at dawn and one around dusk. But the urban park squirrels, they've practically abandoned dawn and dusk entirely. They've shifted to become almost exclusively active during broad daylight.
The researchers hit the nail on the head with this quote right here. Park squirrels shifted their activity to times with higher visitor frequency to obtain supplemental food. Just think about what that actually means for a second. These wild animals have completely overwritten their natural biological clocks. They tossed out millions of years of dawn and dusk foraging instincts just to adopt a standard diurnal 9 to 5 shift. Why? Because that's when the tourists are in the park. They literally reprogram their daily routines to farm us for nuts. It is absolutely incredible.
Which brings us to part 4, nature's ultimate survival hackers, biological hardware versus behavioral software. Let's bring this all together to see how this builds into our final understanding of these amazing creatures. We've just explored 2 brilliant, totally different sides of the squirrel survival matrix. So the real takeaway here is that adaptation isn't just a one-size-fits-all thing. Flying squirrels grew wing-like membranes and specialized wrist bones, a massive 20-million-year hardware upgrade to conquer the night sky and dodge predators. Meanwhile, urban red squirrels are actively rewriting their behavioral software today, literally changing their daily alarm clocks to intercept park tourists. Whether it's through physical anatomy or daily habits, squirrels adapt to conquer their specific environments with absolute perfection. And that leaves us with this final, really provocative thought. If a few million tourists walking through a park in Poland is enough to completely rewrite the daily biological rhythms of a wild animal, we have to ask ourselves, how are our own daily habits invisibly rewiring the natural world around us right now? Human presence isn't just an obstacle for nature, it's an active, ongoing force of evolution happening right in our own backyards. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep your eyes peeled next time you're in the park, and I'll catch you in the next one.